Hey there, YouTube. Darth Stacker here. Today I have an interview with Silver Britches. I thought I would give you guys a chance to get to know one of the guys that I follow. Very smart guy. He does a lot of content on the market and the future of our hobby. So I encourage you to give a listen and subscribe. Also, I wanted to announce my next auction is going to be July 8th, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you there. Come by, shoot the breeze, buy some silver, win some silver, just hang out and have fun. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.
There is a great disturbance in the force.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Hey there, YouTube. Darth Stacker here. I got an interview with Silver Britches, the man with the golden voice. We had a little bit of a hiccup, but I'm glad we can make it work. How's it going, buddy?
Going good. How about you?
I'm doing really well.
All right,
So-
good to hear.
You got those golden pipes, man. You ever thought about doing like radio or voiceovers?
Negative. No, sir. I have not.
You should. You should think about it.
I hear that quite a bit for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, it must be something to it if you hear it more from more than just me.
I guess.
So I love a good intro story. I'm always the guy that wants to hear about the where the guy came from, what made the superhero, what made the villain. So
Sure.
give us your intro into stacking. How did you get started?
Well, I got started stacking last year. I've been a collector my whole life. My dad, from a young age, he carried me to coin shows and flea markets and whatnot, all over the place, all over the state where I'm from. And I just fell into stacking. Really, my son was graduating from high school, and I wanted to give him something that he can remember by, and it was either a quarter ounce of gold or 20 ounces of silver eagles. So I decided, hey, I'll get him some silver eagles. And then I realized at that point that he had more silver than I did once I purchased it. And then I got him the BU version, and I was like, maybe I've been doing this wrong this whole time, So I started researching into it, and it just hit me. It just, I've been collecting my whole life, and I don't have nowhere the amount of ounces as compared to what he got for cheap. So I just took it from there.
Oh, cool. So your father got you into it basically, and then it kind of morphed into stacking. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So at this present time, are you a stacker, collector, prepper, flipper, all four combination?
I do a little bit of all of it, to be honest with you. It just makes sense to do a little bit of all to make your stack grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm totally with you. So what were you collecting before? Like numismatic?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Like,
American numismatic coins, really. I prefer the modern stuff, but I also love the Morgan dollars, peace dollars, Walking Liberty, things like that. And I also love my proof silver eagles, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I totally dig the history of the older ones, but I'm starting to get into the newer stuff too. So it's funny how you go from one thing to the next. Collector for a few months, and then you stacking for a little while, and then you start thinking about the prepping. And
Yeah. Well, right now it's difficult for me to choke down the prices right now, so I'm kind of holding back a lot as far as stacking silver, to be honest with you.
yeah, you got to doing that price averaging. You still got to keep buying, but you might not be able to stack as hard as you were before. It's completely understandable.
Oh yeah, I mean last year I was buying tubes of Silver Eagles for $340, and now it's just like, now it's just like, why am I going to pay all this money for something?
Right. So that's a good segue into the next question. A lot of your videos are on the market predicting prices. Like, how accurate do you think you can be, other than just like taking a stab in the dark at getting it right, predicting prices of silver and gold within the medium term, short term, long term?
Uh, I try not to predict anything because I don't want to look like an idiot whenever things go a certain way. So, and people will let you know about it. To be honest with you, I made one video, and right after that, silver took a nosedive. I mean, just like, but I probably should have specified when I thought it was going to take off. It's going to take off eventually, but it's not going to happen overnight.
True.
But I think gold really is the one that's going to shoot up in the near future as far as price goes, and silver will follow eventually.
Yeah, in my interview with Salvia Metal, he talks about that too. How there's a little bit of a lag for silver behind gold.
Yes.
So I think we're all on the same page.
I did a video on that. I think nobody really watched it, and I put out a lot of information in there, which kind of sucks about it. But because I get questions all the time, and I refer people back to that video. I'm like, look, I made a very detailed video about that. I went back all the way to the Hunt brothers in the 80s, and I gave the prices and the percentages and whatnot, and how fast it moved, and your time frame of, if you are going to play that GSR, it's only like a matter of a couple of weeks that you can play that GSR once it tops out. And not a lot of people watch that video. I think it's got only like 1,000, views on it. And it's called "Can Silver Strike Lightning Again?" And I gave a lot of information in that. So that's a video that, if you are looking to see what has happened in the past, history does have a funny way of repeating itself. And if it's going to repeat itself, it'll be similar to those two situations.
Well, I'll link to that video here, and we'll see how people react, how they respond.
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
So, have you done a GSR trade?
Have I? No. I have sold some, but I have not did a specific GSR trade.
So you sold some silver to buy gold?
Let's see. I did sell some, but I didn't specifically sell it. I didn't trade silver for gold. How about that? I did sell some silver, and then I ended up buying gold. But a lot of people that play the GSR, they take their silver in for gold specifically. But I just sold some whenever it was high. Like about a month ago, I sold some.
Yeah. Lady Bullion, she it sounds like she did a video not too long ago. It sounds like she made out pretty good right when the GSR was like 100. So it sounded like she did pretty good.
Yeah, and I also did a video on that not too long ago. I think it was probably my last video, actually, where the GSR is technically, if you factor in the premiums for silver, technically the GSR is in the 70s. So even though you're going to figure out the GSR, you have to take the silver price and then the price of gold and then do the math. And then that's how you find your GSR. But if you factor in the premiums, that GSR, as far as what you can sell your silver for, is actually in the 70s.
Yeah, that makes sense. Instead of just the spot price. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's what I was trying to get across to people, as far as, taking your silver and specifically going to like a coin shop, because they're going to take that every day of the week. You know what I mean? Because they're going to make out like a bandit, because you're going to take them 100 ounces and they'll give you 1 ounce of gold. And really, you're shorting yourself by probably 25 to 30 ounces if you do it that way. Whereas if you sell it outright privately, you'll make out a heck of a lot better than you would the other way around.
Oh yeah, you'll always do better selling and buying
Oh,
privately.
yeah. Yeah. If you go to an LCS, they're going to do what's best for them. They're not going to do what's best for you.
Right. Yeah. Totally. They're and you don't can't blame them. They're in business
No,
to
no,
stay in business, not
not at all.
to charity work.
Not at all. They have a brick and mortar store. They have employees. That's their livelihood. That's what they do. They're gonna get the best deal that's for them.
Yeah, it's a trade off of the convenience of just going to one spot and doing all your business at one
Oh
time,
yeah,
or
yeah.
having to wait around and deal with more than one person and mailing and shipping costs and all that stuff. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's definitely a trade off.
And whenever you sell something privately and it's not to a hand-to-hand person, you have to worry about the shipping getting there. You have to worry about getting, hosed over on the sale, things like that. So
Yeah,
it is definitely. I know Silver Wolverine did that. He sold all his silver, and he found that it was more comfortable for him to just sell it at a lower price versus doing it that way.
true. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Do you dabble in any other precious metals other than gold and silver?
I do not. I do not. I like the stability of gold, and I like the upside of silver. To be honest with you.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with the statement you said before about about the gold and about which one to lean on heavier. Like I think gold, there's more upside. I think silver's more undervalued at this point than gold. I think they're both going to
Yes.
go up soon, but
Yes.
I think there's more upside for silver. So, and not to mention the heavy
Yes.
purchase price. Like I'm just not buying gold at the moment.
And that's totally fine because gold is near all-time highs, right? It's in the 17s and it's been that way, geez, for a month now. It's been just holding steady right there.
Right?
But silver definitely has short-term advantage, but in the long term, it's gold, man, because 10 years ago, and I've said this before, but 10 years ago, gold was too expensive for me to get into. It's too expensive for me to get into now. Where's it going to be at in 10 years from now? See what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I've been buying gold right now versus buying the premiums on silver, because eventually I want to get more into gold because that is the better overall performing metal to me in my book if you look at the history of the metals themselves.
Well, diversification is one of the big
Oh yeah.
tenets of investing. So yeah, it's I should be in both or even more, but really I'm focusing on the silver because it just seems it's so anticlimactic to spend like $220 and get this little tiny piece of thing. You can barely see it in the palm of your hand,
That's
versus
right.
you're spend
That's right.
$220 in silver. That's a haul.
That's right. That's right. And and the good thing about that is whenever you buy a bunch of silver, you can tell that you bought a bunch of silver. Whereas if you buy 1 ounce gold coin, you just have the one coin. And so that's what I think a lot of people, they feel like they get more with silver versus gold.
Yeah. But if you're a prepper, definitely, if you wanna bug out, it's much easier
Yes,
to carry like a couple ounces of gold versus like a big ass box full of silver.
absolutely.
But then there's the
Absolutely.
fractional point of like how you going to break it down when you want to do some kind of exchange, goods for
Correct.
services or good fees for product, whatever. So
Correct.
so that's why you got to have both anyway.
Correct. I like
So
that 50-50 mix is what I'm trying to get.
yeah, that's a good idea. So what are your favorite things to collect?
My favorite things to collect. My favorite is the Silver Eagles. And probably I love my junk silver, to be honest with you. I love my Mercs, and I love SLQs, but man, they're terrible for your silver loss. So,
Yeah.
but I like all half dollars, to be honest with you. Half dollars and Mercury dimes is what I prefer.
I like the Morgans. I just always envision like, it's if one is beat up, if it's a cull, I just imagine
Hmm.
like, everything that piece has been through. It's been in some cowboy's pouch for years, and he walks into a saloon and flips it on the counter and says, "Give me a bottle of whatever." I like thinking about where this coin's been and what it's seen and what it's bought.
Yeah, because those are the ones that were like that. Because the ones where they're blast white, they've been in bank bags and vaults all this time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
your circulated ones absolutely have been.
yeah. The blast white ones, the uncirculated ones, they're pretty. They're very, very nice to
Oh
look at.
yeah, oh, yeah.
But it's not as fun to think about them sitting in a bag in the bank.
No, it's not.
So, what's your white whale? The one piece that you've been dreaming about getting, and it's either been eluding you either because of price or availability.
Well, I already got it.
Oh,
That I got it. Yes,
what's that?
that is my gold buffalo.
Ah, so you got to think
I,
of another one.
yeah, I got to figure out another one because I was wanting one of those since 2008, and I finally pulled the trigger this year, and now I have three of them. To be honest with you, so
Oh, nice, nice. You're no thoughts of what you're gonna shoot for next?
oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'd have to really think about it. But yeah, that's one thing that was on my list for a long time.
What's your end game? Can you envision a point where you stop stacking, you stop collecting, you cash it in?
I will stop once I retire from working altogether. Is probably when I'm going to stop, and I'll be probably in my 60s. So that'd be another 20 plus years to go for me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I would keep stacking, keep collecting, just as hard as I can up until the time I retire, and just cash in as I need a little infusion of cash. But
Yes,
I still think that I'll always be collecting no matter what.
yes, absolutely. My
Just
father,
not
he's in his 70s, and he still does to this day.
hmm, maybe not the high value stuff, but I'll still be collecting.
Yes, yes.
So, what's the future for your channel and for your stack? For your collection? What are you thinking about doing in the future?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day. Really, I've slowed down a little bit because I haven't been buying a bunch of silver, so I don't want to make a bunch of videos with nothing to obviously show as far as me picking up new stuff. So at this very moment, I'm trying to decide whether or not to get more fractional gold versus buying a full ounce. And I've been fighting about this for a week now because I have the I have the funds to go ahead and buy another ounce of gold, but I don't have much fractional gold, and that prepper side of me kind of wants to get that fractional gold. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Even though it's going to be less cost effective. So that's the internal struggle that I'm having right now. Do I save the money on the premiums and just buy the full ounce? I go ahead and buy a half ounce or quarter ounce because of the lower mintages. So that whole collector side slash stacker side is what's really got me hemmed up right now. But as far as the channel goes, I will still keep making videos as long as I keep making purchases, and I I get a lot of great comments from new stackers to very old seasoned stackers. Guys have been stacking since the 70s and 80s, and I wish I could get the prices where they started, but they, they've left comments on my channel as far as what their plans are, and it just makes sense to keep doing it. You know, keep dollar cost average in your stack, and if these premiums do come down, I'll absolutely 100% load back up on silver. But as far as a 7% premium versus a 40% premium, I gotta go with the 7% premium.
Oh yeah, completely. Then that's if you got the cash all at once right now to get a, like you were saying before, like if you got the you're debating on what to get, the fractional or full ounce. Like if you got the cash right now to get to buy full ounce, I would say buy full ounce. There's going
Yes.
to be plenty of times available when you only got like $200 to spend, and that's the time to get the fractional. I would say that's my advice anyway.
Yeah. Yes, and that's what I've been leaning on. So I'm probably gonna go in that direction.
Even having 1 ounce of gold, you're ahead of 99% of the people in the United States.
Absolutely. There's so many people who have no idea of what stacking is and how to save money. And another thing is I get a lot of people that will comment on my videos, well, I can't afford, it's too pricey, it's too expensive. And so I respond back with a question to them, well, how many ounces are you stacking a month in silver? And they'll tell me like, maybe 20 or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you could literally buy a quarter ounce of gold for that same price that you're buying in silver. And they don't even realize it. So having a YouTube channel and being able to help people with their purchases, because a lot of people, whether they're new or old, they don't realize this stuff. And I get a little bit of, positivity feed, whenever they tell me, thank you, I appreciate that. It just, it keeps me motivated to keep making videos, because if I can help one person, then that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what the biggest part of what motivated me to start a channel was the interaction with the community.
Yes. Yes,
And,
absolutely. There's a lot of good people in our community.
oh yeah, I'll say it again. I've said it 100 times over the past however many videos I've done. I've said it, I think, in every video. This community is the most generous and supportive group of people I've ever met. You got people
Yes.
that you hardly know each other, sending each other freebies or uh, like in an auction, they'll bid up high and buy something and just say, "Oh, I'll just send that to Silver Britches."
Yes, absolutely. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I've
uh,
never experienced anything like it.
no, definitely not, definitely not.
Not normal, everyday, real life. Everybody is just normally, cutthroat. They got to get theirs, but not in this community, man. There's a lot of good people in this community, and it's really it's heartwarming to see it.
For sure. Have you met anybody in person from YouTube?
I have not. I have not.
Um,
Probably gonna
do
meet
you-
somebody here in the next month, and I'll keep you guys posted on that.
yeah, definitely. I
Yes.
um I tried to hook up with Talking Bullion. He lives about 20-30 minutes from me, but our schedules haven't met up. And now with the medical situation, it's difficult to to get out and do stuff like that. But as it's coming to an end here, it's gonna happen pretty soon. We'll probably meet up at a coin show or something.
Yes. Talking Bullion is, man, he's just good people. He has a
Yeah.
gall or a live stream every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are available to watch that, please go visit. He is a wonderful guy. Him and Silver Steeler are two of my favorite guys to watch, because they don't, they're just overall good people. If you go look at his Christmas live stream from last year and what he gave away to everybody, you got to have a big heart to do that, to give away all that money to strangers that you never met.
Right. Yeah. Super
Very,
nice
very
guy.
fine. Yes.
I my fiance and I were supposed to take a trip out to New York, so we were going to try and meet up with Stacking Stormtrooper. That didn't pan out because of the sickness thing.
Yes.
Um, we were going to take a trip down to Florida. We were supposed to meet up with Spectacular in Guido, but that obviously that didn't happen either. So yeah, one of these days I'm gonna make a connection with somebody, one of the people that I talked to on YouTube.
Yes. Yes. And that's the terrible thing about this right now is I've continued working the whole time, and I get sometimes I get people saying that this is a total hoax, and I'm not going to tell you what my occupation is, but my wife, she's a nurse. I can tell you that this is not a hoax
Oh,
firsthand. So,
absolutely.
and I get so many people who say that it is, and I'm just like, look, just because it hasn't affected you does not make it a hoax.
Yeah, like I got outed a while ago, so everybody already knows that I'm in EMS. I'm a paramedic. So I can tell you from firsthand experience, I've seen some of the most sick patients I've ever seen in my entire career.
Yes.
Were those type of patients. They were super sick, and they just looked like something off The Walking Dead, and that's nothing I would ever want to take a chance on for anybody that I know. So I
Yes.
come home from work, I strip my clothes off in the garage, throw my
Yeah.
stuff right in the washing machine. I head right to the shower. So I don't want to take a chance on affecting anybody in my family.
Yeah, and that's the thing is because I've been working, I have to take those precautions as well.
Okay, man, I gotta cut this one kind of short because we got a late start. But is there anything else you want to talk about?
No. If there's anything that I can help as far as with people's channels or with people's thought process on stacking or whatnot. I also did a YouTube video, a how-to YouTube video. I didn't get many views on that, but I put a lot of good information in there as far as what you should put in your description, your video titles, how to, search YouTube and how to find the best video for your channel. Um, but if you guys ever have any questions for me, I always put my email inside of description. So feel free to shoot me email anytime. I don't always respond immediately, but I do end up responding eventually.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. It was great talking to you.
Well, I appreciate you giving me a call. Thank you so much.
Heck yeah, man. It was good talking to you, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.